Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Thanks for joining me for News 5 Now at 8 o'clock. I'm Shimani Baker. We are keeping an eye on a number of stories for you this morning, including the Mobile edition of Monopoly. We have been talking about that all morning. The new board game is out, and it's specific to the port city. So I'm excited about that. I told y'all earlier on News 5 this morning that Akivia McFarland told me she bought it last week. So she was excited for that. Also, some more good news is that those hot temperatures are kind of trending downward this week, but we are trading it for some more rain. So we've got those stories and much more on News 5 Now. Stick with us now.
Brought to you by Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers. Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Well, you know the drill. We always start off with our big stories this morning. Number 5, a wreath-laying ceremony to commemorate the 235th anniversary of the U.S. Coast Guard is happening in just a few minutes at Battleship Memorial Park. Officials with the City of Mobile Coast Guard and Mobile Navy League will join together to celebrate Coast Guardsmen, pay tribute to the fallen, and highlight the port city's connection to the branch, as Mobile is one of 37 communities countrywide known as a Coast Guard city. Number 4. Several members of a National Guard unit based out of Foley are preparing to deploy to the Middle East. Around 200 soldiers will deploy under the 1st Battalion of the 173rd Infantry Regiment. 85 members of C Company prepared their gear and packaged their bags in preparation for their journey to Egypt in about a month on Saturday. During the year-long deployment, an Alabama National Guard spokesperson says the battalion will support Multinational Force and Observers Task Force Sinai. Their job is to help maintain the peace treaty between Egypt and Israel. Number 3. One of the men convicted of the 2021 murder of a football standout, Ladarius Clarity, will get a new trial. An appeals court ruled that investigators ignored DeQuavian Snowden's repeated request for an attorney while being questioned for 13 hours about Clarity's murder. Clarity was killed in what turned out to be a case of a mistaken identity. He was shot 14 times. Snowden's brother Amos was also found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. The appeals court ordered a new trial for DeQuavian. Clarity was a student quarterback for the Pine Forest High School team and was playing college football at Kennesaw State. Number 2. Monopoly Mobile Edition is out. You may remember this version being announced last year, with the makers asking for your suggestions on places in the city to include on the board. It includes local landmarks like Bienville Square, Bellingrath Gardens, and you can even pay Mardi Gras dues. See, what I want to know is, when you get sent to jail, does it say Metro? Those are questions that need answering, okay? That's what I want to know. But this is super cool. As I said, a lot of us here at News 5 are extremely excited about the new board game and are hoping to buy it. Toomey's Mardi Gras store is on there as well. How fun is that? And number 1, later this month, Mobile residents will head to the polls to pick the city's next mayor. But today, the 4 candidates, Spiro Chiriganis, Barbara Drummond, Connie Hudson, and Paul Prine, will debate live on News 5 from 7 p.m. until 8 p.m. Sorry, it's so early for me, guys. If there's a question that you'd like the candidates to answer, you can submit those questions on our website at WKRG.com. Don't forget, the live debate is happening tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. on News 5. We're going to move things over to our question of the day, which is, what is one trend that you are ready to move past? You know, I was looking through these earlier and someone said boots on the ground. If you don't know what that is, it's a new line dance. Well, I say new. It's been out for a little while now, where you take your fan and you hit the clacks, clacks. People are over that. They're done with the song. It's been played way too many times. So, and somebody else says line dancing to every song that comes on. Tabitha says men and women wearing baggy Big saggy clothes. You can't walk without holding them up, even with a belt on. Okay. People leaving skeletons up in their yards year round. Yeah, after October, after Halloween, let's bring those down. Someone says every single new house being built is all the same exact floor plan. Little kids with their faces buried in an iPad or phone. Hoodies, pajamas in public. Someone says man buns. Oh, come on, Preston. You're no fun. What's wrong with a man bun? Steve says males addressing their wives' girlfriends as my old lady. Okay, I can kind of agree with you on that. I always thought that was a little odd. I think that's a thing that people say in the South, but I never understood that. And I went to school with some folks who are from like the Miami area. They actually called their old ladies their moms. So that can get confusing. Someone says eyebrows painted on that look like backward commas. We want to hear from you. Make sure you all go and chime in on that question of the day. I'm going to pull up our poll for the day, which is, are you ready to head back to school? Let's see what the parents are saying. Monica says, yes, yes, yes. My fridge will be full again. I'm sure my mom felt the same way when it was time for me to go back to school. Because in the summertime, it's like every hour you want a snack. When you're bored, you tend to eat more. So there's that. Someone says, this is my first year in like 20 years of not going back to school. Graduated high school and college. Good for you. You can finally sleep in. And that's until you start work. And hopefully you don't work the early morning shift. Sally says, bus driver here. I'm ready. I love my job most days. Okay. Someone says, these kids don't really have a full summer break. Some attend literacy camp, summer school, or both. Someone says, no, I know they have to go to school and learn, but I'm not ready to hear this. Quote, kid is picking on me. My teacher doesn't like me. Mommy, I'm stressed. I couldn't go to the bathroom when I needed to. Okay, I could see that. We want to hear from you all. Someone says, just let the kids go back after Labor Day. All right. We're getting a lot of mixed emotions here. 35 say no way. Not ready for school to go back. 24 says yes. So most people are like, nope. Summer flew by, which tends to happen every year. I feel like every year we're in August or September and we're like, where did the year go? So it's just another case of that. Thank y'all again for joining us this morning. Make sure you head to our WKRG Facebook page and chime in on that question and poll of the day. And we will share some of your responses right here on News 5 Now. Thank y'all again for being here. Have a great Monday and an even better rest of your week. I'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now. Brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers.
In the courtroom, the judge knows best, and this judge does too. If you've been hurt in a wreck, you need a law firm that knows the system and how it works. I'm attorney David Green. Call or come by anytime. You never need an appointment.